Why do I keep doing this? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Wow, I've just been talking into space for the last minute. That's fantastic. All right, so the quick recap. Thank you very much for the catch on that. Apparently, I hit the desktop audio button instead of microphone. So just a quick recap for everything. I am Graham, PS Gamer. You can find me on social media with all that stuff. Thank you to my Coffee and Patreon fans. You're all helping make this all possible and helping support me make this into a full-time gig. This is going out live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all at the same time. If you haven't followed, liked, or subscribed, yeah, that's facts. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. And if you're not supporting me, please consider supporting me on Patreon and or Coffee. Right. So, what was I talking about? No, it's not you. It's not you. I am just yeah. I thought I got enough sleep last night. Apparently, I did not. Anyways, all good now. We got sound. We're set. So a while ago, I talked about how I thought it'd be interesting to try to build a community that's going like down a hill, like into a pit sort of thing. So I'm gonna give that a shot today. Um, so yeah, let's get to this. All right, so add a bunch of land. Done. Paint our foreground. The catalog. So today we are in regional HD. So this is where they have the most stamps and the most resources to work with. How's dirt grasslands? Ah, never mind. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, let's go for some bright desert here. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, I'm willing to bet like 9 times out of 10, if there's some sort of sound related issue, it is definitely me at my end and not at your end. Okay, so that's all done. So let's get stamps. Yeah, I got these nice mountains. Open the catalog. What do we got for hill? So these kind of hills. Oh, right. Okay. We need to go to might be fantasy battle maps. Craggy Hills. Yeah, here we go. So let's get a few of these out here to work with. Okay, so building a conventional hill. That, so you got the bottom leading up to the top. These ones aren't marked out quite as nicely because there's no little rocks at the bottom, but that's fine. That's yeah, it's working. That looks like it's downwards facing now. Okay. Let's do a massive switch there. And we'll grab these ones. 180'd. There we go. Yeah, elevation map. Yeah, it is. It's challenging on like regular GIS software, um, and that does most of the work for you. This adds to the entire operation by making you do all the work. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Oh, nice. I love that so many people are making maps and stuff like that, and talking about it here, or talking about it on the Discord. It's awesome. I love seeing what people are doing and their concepts and ideas. Okay, this is coming along really nicely. Oh, it's facing the wrong way. Is it? No, it was facing the right way. Okay. Yeah, so with dealing with these hills, it's really a matter of like you've got to stare hard at it and figure out which way the little the hasher marks. There we go. Are working. I knew I'd remember the name for that. It's been bugging me all morning. Alright, so let's put that there for now. Need some more pieces. Yeah, that's a good one. Too small. Nice. I love that. I love stuff like that as a GM, like getting when my players get involved in stuff, and yeah, that's fantastic. I just need a little piece for the end there. So that little bit of a gentler slope there, that could be how they enter down into this. Okay. Now we'll do it again in the center, create another depression. That should be enough. Okay. The funny thing with this too is, like, if you really wanted to make your life and mapping experience complex, is you could build with these facing downwards to create that impression of depth on a bit larger map, and then build a hill up in the center. Um, However, I am not going to be doing that today because I enjoy the shreds of sanity that I have left. There we go. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, this piece looks terrible. I'm going to replace that piece. That looked awful. But overall, the concept seems to be working pretty well. Although picking the stamp here seems to be a little bit more challenging. Oh yeah, that works a lot better. I guess you could go like this too. Throw a couple of those down. A couple of those. There you got something. Too small. The thing to remember too with this is any of these stamps that are going off the page, of course, will be there. Like if you expand the map out, they'll be sticking out there, so you'll have your workspace already pre-delineated for you. Nice. Alright, so let's fill this in now a little bit. subtract. And make that smaller. Some water in the bottom. And so where you see here where it's the edges aren't quite clean, what's happened there is we've got spillover from the stamp over top that's covering up the boundary. So what you can do to fix that is just pull it back a little bit and re-angle it to let the boundary sort of, let the shoreline shine a bit. An alternative would be to move all of them in a little bit closer and completely obscure the boundary line, which would create a probably a little bit more realistic looking effect of just like the hills just going down into it. But I like that nice fern border, so we're going to go with that today. All right. So that's hills. What else we got? Oh, we got hills with more definition. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to use those for the... I'm going to keep the craggy hill, like the nasty looking hills for the down there, but I'm going to use these fancier, more defined looking hills for up here. It's like, that looks sharp. So you can see how that's adding a whole different look to the operation. So the reason that I switched to these ones here is because looking at them, what immediately struck me was these look more wind weathered, whereas this looks more like it's been dug out, at least to me. So it creates starts telling a bit of a story with the terrain, which is something I talked about earlier, how you could use terrain to tell the story of an area and communicate to your players more information than they usually suspect they're supposed to get from like terrain features. All right. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks a lot better. These are the pre-made hills. What they got? Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about how you could drop a hill in the middle. This would be an easy way to do it. So if that little lake wasn't there, you could just drop that in, and that would create a down up feeling, which would be good if you're trying to do like say like a fortress or something else like that that used to have a large moat or used to be in a lake or something like that, and you want to have a dry lake bed around it, and that would be a really good way to communicate that out. Um, and also a great way to like dry lake beds, like two thumbs up, like really good for storytelling because it tells a story that something's happened because lakes don't usually just dry up. Also, you can scatter all sorts of weird stuff on the bottoms of lakes, and it's a good chance to have players encounter like weird random monsters and stuff like that. So we're gonna call this Inverted Desert Village. Good name for a save, I think. All right, let's get into some more stamps. See what else we got. Let's see what we have to play with for desert. Okay, so this is going to be one of those odd ones, isn't it? Yeah. So as you can see, I've used used one set of the stamps in this to create the terrain that I wanted to create. But now I have to switch from that to regional HD in order to find the buildings and stuff to place in it. And this is going to add an extra challenge to the operation because I may have to rejig how I've laid everything out. Because as you can see, none of these are top-down buildings. They're all isohedral view. Good old 2.5D. Okay, well, let's start with this nice little section of yeah. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to scatter a few of those out and just sort of. So now I need to determine how I'm going to make this work. Because this is really good for top-down terrain. So if I was working, this is why this is an experimental map today. Because I am trying out different things. So I'm just going to come to the stamps and show you what I mean. So let's go to watercolor cities. So this is what I used for the last set of maps. So as you can see, all the stuff for watercolor cities is top down. So let's pick, here's the desert structures for it. And these make perfect sense in this. Let's check this out. Let's bump it up to 150, make it noticeable. So as you can see, that works a lot better than these ones. So the terrain itself is from the HD set, but the way I've done the terrain supports a top-down view. Whereas if I want to make the terrain work for these guys, it's going to be more challenging because the perspective on all these buildings is different than the perspective off the base building up over there. See, I could create like a nice little street, throw a road down, all other sort of stuff, but the problem is that this doesn't look right then. Okay. So, how do I make that work? Let's go back to Regional HD and look at what they have for hills. So they've got dunes, brown hills, green hills, and bigger dunes. Or drifts, maybe? So as you can see, it's not really conductive. Basically, like the perspective is forced in one direction. And you can't create this style of hill doesn't work with these little buildings here. But at the same time, doesn't really look. Oh, whoa. Well, that would actually be how you solve it. Is you eliminate part of the perspective and maintain it elsewhere. But yeah, that's going to get really weird real fast. So let's delete all those. Okay, so let's try this all again. Yeah, world maps can be absolutely be overwhelming. And before I start off any world map, like full disclosure, I have a paper. I mean, I don't think I have it handy anymore. But like, I have a paper rough of everything before I even come near this program or any other one. Just because I've learned through the years that it can be very overwhelming very quickly. Okay, so let's add some land back to that. Okay, let's go into stamps, some catalog. So regional HD. Is pit an option? Do they have pit? Okay. I might be able to work with that. That needs to be a lot bigger. And not quite the same. I mean, it's cool. And I could definitely do a lot with it, but there's only one stamp of it. Maybe they've got something for depression? Nope, no, nothing under depression. What else might they call it? Like depression, slope? Hole? They have pits. How? Oh. Eastern Castle. How does that qualify as... What the... Okay. Let's see what options we have to work with, because they've got really good stuff here for like building cities. Like really, like these are the mountains are beautiful. Like, check these. Like, look at chasms and craters. Let's see what they got for chasms. Oh, same problem. Just does not work. So this is one of those instances where even having more stamps to work with doesn't immediately equate to necessarily being able to do more on your map, because the facility to do stuff. So if I go to watercolor cities here, pardon me, and hit hill, like check out all, like look at all these terrain options I get. It's like brown hills, big sand hills, red sand hills. Like, look at that. So by switching the art style, so I've still got that bright desert back there. We'll probably change that in a moment. So this is actually, as you can see, this is a lot easier to build with. Almost embarrassingly so. There we go. Yeah. So what's happened here is basically I ran into software limitations. Is what happened. There's only so much that a system can do, and this is Incarnate is a finely tuned system for specific things. Namely, it is really good at doing either top down or an angled view. It does not do both particularly well. So if you want to create a world that has like very specific like cliffs, big hills like this, you need to work in the watercolor set, which means you're going to be working in a top-down perspective versus if you want to work with the more detailed and more visually appealing, in many ways, regional HD set, then you're going to be working in a three-quarter view perspective with all the challenges that brings. And those can be substantial challenges. Like even just working in a top-down perspective like I am now can be like a whole thing. Oh, I got little baby hills. Oh, that's adorable. So it occurred to me that a good way to think about these hills as you're building them is to think of the top of the hill as being this space out here. And I'm just got to answer a quick question here. Let's see how we're doing. Half an hour. And send a sticker. There we go. Alright, basically think of the hill as being up top, and then build around it. I don't think that's the best way to explain it. So basically the way that I'm looking at it is that the bottom of the hill is just on the bottom of the hill is on the inside, so the top of the hill is up here. Let's see. There we go. So as you can see, this is looking a lot better than the previous attempt. Not necessarily as pretty. Like I did really like those the sculpted look on those hills, but this is more consistent and is sending a better message. So let's just go into here, paint, open catalog. Let's check out watercolor cities. I don't like that desert. Then we're going to come in here. There we go. Yeah. So you can really have fun with it. Create different textures. Okay, actually that's quite a pleasant. Let's see what else we got here. Got okay. Sand detail. Let's just sand yellow. Oh, look at that. That looks better. I like that. It's got a nice sand yellow. And we've got the sand area affected by wind up here. There we go. And we're going to take our dig tool, make it way smaller. Yeah, there we are. subtract. And here come the stamps, and we're going to look for water. There we go. Let's increase that size to at least 175. Up layer, come back here. And we'll make the waterfall a little bigger. $200. And we're going to add some rocks. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, I dig this. This is looking a lot better. So we're going to leave that, and we're going to come here and hit desert. Desert frames and labels, nice. Okay, so we are going to add hairless immersion skills. Love all these guilds they have. Hey, big rocks red. Here we go. Up a layer, there we are. Scatter some boulders about. Catalog. Oh, it's the exact same boulders, just palette swapped. That's amazing. I love it. Yeah, just throw a few rocks down for fun. And open the catalog. Have we got a bridge? Rope bridge, desert stairs, hex bridges. Yes. Never mind hex bridges. It's going to be hex everything. So sometimes when you find stuff like this, it turns into a beautiful opportunity to get creative with your world building. How am I going to fit all this? Okay. Because to me, this is not just a bridge. This is, okay, I need to lay a whole bunch of these out. Let's switch to that tool. And throw down a bunch of these dudes, a bunch of these ones. So, I mean, you could have boring pathways like everybody else, or you can have some real fun with it and create a unique desert operation. Alright, so I need a three-piece one. There we go. Be careful not to expand the size. So anyone can make a trail, anyone can make a road, just using the path tool or the brush tool. But this is giving this little desert area some actual definition and character. So now not only do we have some sort of zoom out, zoom at fit screen, hit that save button. Yeah, hexagons are a great shape. Yeah, hexes. Yeah. Like if I had more time to plan and actually like think this out as opposed to just having fun on an experimental mapping stream, that's probably not going to be so experimental after I'm done because wow, this is looking really cool. Um, yeah, like this is some fun world building. It's like you could figure out, like you could even communicate with the different colors of stones here because on the stamp tool, you actually have like the individual stones you could drop as well. It's like if you so desired, you could create an entire map system based on the color of these little hexes here. Ooh. Okay, so my old enemy full select is back, so I'm just going to start. I'm just going to lock some stuff into place. There we go. So now that's all locked in. There we go. Yeah. I think I'm going to need to bring this piece in. So here along the riverbank. Super zoomed in here. So there's a little cursory city street. Now let's get some houses going on here. A riad. What's a riad? Let's see here. Riad. Architecture. Type of Moroccan and Andalusi interior. Courtyard associated with the house or palace architecture. So this is internal? Oh, yeah. Move up a little. Okay. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. Wait, what size is this? That's size 100. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is. I dig this. Then I guess because we're doing have this hex thing going on here, I could do is like increase the size to 150. Okay, well, I can sort out how to do the city walls later, but that looks really good. Or they might not even need city walls. I mean, this has this sort of hex features going on. This screams high magic to me. So okay, we've got like a little footbridge going across there. Oh yeah. So nice when you find something and it just works, and immediately gets you, immediately starts to fire you up creatively. Let's do a flip. So we have a library. We've got this riad. Because who doesn't want like a nice garden area? We even have piles of sand. That's fun. Okay, I'll play with piles of sand later. Now, right now I need more buildings. You got a bath. I'll put the bathhouse somewhere. The alchemist will be somewhere else too. Herbalist. Put an inn right there. I'll sort out those little. So I got dome buildings, medium buildings. This is a nice selection. It's got little blocks of homes. Not sure how that qualifies as noble blocks, but oh, there's artist guilds. That's awesome. So we need to flip. Then for the interior, yeah, there we go. Bring that up a few layers. Nice. So we have a merchant's guild. We have an inn here. Throw something in front of the inn. Lift the inn up a few layers. Where's that big mage guild? Yeah. And even the regular sized mage guild is nice. I'm going to angle this. sure if those are the windows or those awnings. Yeah, they've really killed it with the desert stamps here. I am very impressed. Oh, there we go. That fits nicely like that. Let's throw some palm trees down. It's funny for like all that work that I've done so far. Like this is just this small area is all that's really been developed so far. All right, let's see here. What else? These desert stamps are dynamite. Oh, there's a fishery. Oh, awesome. And I think where's that dock? Natural stairs. I'll throw some of those in a moment. Stairs, sandy cliffs, wooden boards. Nope, nope. Here we go, wooden docks. Nice. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so not a lot of lore today. More of this is exploring this stuff. Standard Eurofin. Yeah, me too. I 100% agree with that. I wish that there was more variety than just sort of like generic uh, fantasy Europe for stuff as well. That would be really nice. I'm hoping that Incarnate does an update again soon because they are starting to fall behind in terms of what they're offering for their stamps and stuff. And if they don't keep up, they're not going to be able to be competitive with their with the emerging groups. So we'll see. There we go. A couple little boats there. Yeah. There's some waves on here. Some waves going on. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll play with that later. Maybe that'll be on Tuesday. So definitely coming back to this map. This was supposed to be an experiment, and it has turned into something much cooler than that. Smithy, what's this? A runesmith. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a successful experiment. This was a whole lot of unexpected finds today. Pyramids, nice. Ziggurats. Oh, that's it? Ziggurat's supposed to be big. Impressive. That's... Whoa, okay, so that's better. That's... Yeah, that says Grand Temple to me. Like, that's... Why are the ziggurats not that big? Oh, Grand Ziggurat. Oh, okay. So you got little peanut ones, then you've got the big one here. Oh wow, that's a monster. that even look like? Yeah, that's absolutely dominating the area. That's amazing. I'm not going to use that, but that is amazing. Wow. So one of the things I've just been thinking about this last few minutes, one of the things I realized here is that the two different art styles they offer, the regional HD versus the watercolor cities, it really changes like how you're I'll put the crane somewhere else. That'll be later. It changes how you, or sorry, it doesn't change. Um, it greatly the whole system is greatly influences how you can not just tell a story with a map, but also communicate what you think is important with a map. So, for example, on this map, when I tried using, oh, there we go, the Adventurers Guild. On this map, when I tried using the regional HD stuff on it, I realized that I couldn't communicate spatial information as well as I can using the watercolor. And by that I mean I couldn't communicate how the ground was inside of that model without having to spend like an enormous amount of time figuring out how to, in a three-quarter view, show that we have basically what's basically a valley, because it doesn't offer the options to do that. Like there's no facility for it. So I wanted to create a more traditional style map with like drawn on hills and all sort of like the more like a standard sort of like fantasy map. It wouldn't be an issue because fantasy maps are generally assume a completely flat surface with things built up on top of it. It doesn't get into canyons or depressions or anything else like that too often. So I couldn't communicate that using the other style on here, but with this one I can communicate it, but it's sacrificing mood, because maps definitely communicate mood, vibe, all that other sorts of stuff, and you can't create, like when this map is done, it's going to be beautiful, like it will be a pretty map. It'll be great to look at. It'll communicate fantasy, all other sorts of stuff. But it won't have the same appearance as if I had access to like the Babylonian stamp collection that's over in the regional HD section. So it's sort of a trade-off. Um, and like to be honest, like I'm loving this. This is really cool. But there's a limitation to that, and also a limitation of this particular map style is based on what I've observed from other people doing using it. Like if you go to the Reddit for Incarnate, it's amazing. It's like some of the most beautiful fantasy maps you'll see in your life. But one of the things that they'll do is, especially with the three quarter view buildings, is there's a facility to, you spend a lot of time doing it, but you can line them all up and create multiple levels using that. Yeah, because some people have built some truly epic castles and cities and stuff by doing that, and they're like these like giant like tiered operations. It's really cool, and I can't do that here. So what I gain in ground representation, I lose in potential fantasy architecture. Pardon me, versus the other way around, where using the other style, I gain in fantasy architecture, but I lose in being able to communicate what the actual ground looks like. So yeah, okay. It's a day of minor revelations for stuff, I guess, too, which is always good. So it is good and important to be learning. Put the Adventurers Guild down here past the library. So I imagine adventurers are going to be avid patrons. And like reasonably they should be. Like you look at the sorts of stuff adventurers do and they are constantly getting into trouble that some minor research prior to an adventure could have prepared them for. So yeah, they are definitely going down just past the library. Yeah, I kind of want to throw some little regular houses out there. I want to throw like a tavern down here because both library patrons and adventurers need to be able to get a drink after a hard day of stuff. Research. Yeah. Who needs to research anything? We frustrated our GM one time by doing that. We insisted on we had some really good rolls too, so we looked up a bunch of information about what we were getting into, and it radically altered how we were approaching stuff. It was great. We had a good time. Our GM was like, "Come on, guys! Like, why you got to research so much?" Yeah, these I know it's supposed to be a bridge, but it just works so well as a unique road. All right. Smithy, Tannery. Oh, there's a university. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a university town. I am totally putting a university down for this. Oh, that's a cool windmill. Nice. Oh, we got Sphinx options. Nice. I like it. I like it. Okay, so there's two inns. What's the other one? Oh, yeah. There we go. So an inn for traveling scholars. Sort of palm tree down there, and a few desert shrubs. Just because it's a desert, there's no reason not to have some shrubbery around. There we go. Nothing but sand and cacti. Cacti. It's rough. So I live in the Okanagan, in British Columbia, and most of the Okanagan is classified as semi-arid desert. Like you wouldn't know it to look at it, but like even where I am at the north end of it, still very dry. Like we get green grass for like a very short period, and then everything just slowly starts to turn yellow. And there are cactuses around here, like these horrible, like they're little tiny, like I don't even know. Like, I don't have anything around here that's like a tiny screwdriver. So like they're about this big, and they're covered in long spines. And more than once, I have knelt or laid down on them, usually in relation to like army stuff. And the thing is, you don't feel them go in. So you'll get up and just discover that, like, your pants legs are attached to your knee, or your shirt doesn't move properly anymore because it is now pinned to you. And you end up like spending a solid 5 to 10 minutes doing some first aid on yourself to get all these little spines out, but they never fully come out. And then like days or weeks later, all of a sudden like a little like part of a needle will work its way out. Cactuses is what I'm saying. Miserable little bastards, all of them. Sorry, unrelated, unrelated to mapping rant on the realities of cactuses in my life. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the save button here because we've hit 90 minutes, and I've got to do a bunch of writing still today. So let's see what happened. Fit screen. Make that small. Get rid of that. Hide that too. So, today was experimenting day. I came into this just looking to experiment with trying to build ground that went downwards to create the effect of a depression as opposed to hills and stuff like that. Things we discovered was that within Incarnate, this effect is possible but extremely difficult to achieve. Pardon me, using the regional HD set, mostly because the stamp collection for it is set at a permanent like 3/4 view, which creates a perspective challenge. And so when you're playing around with the perspective, that always adds more challenge to any sort of operation. And in my case, I was trying to communicate the shape of the land, and it wasn't conductive to that. So we had to switch back to watercolor cities, where we discovered not only does it look really nice, like we've got these nice definitive, like you could tell that this is the ground is going downwards, which is nice. So that part of the experiment was good. And then for laying out the city around it, or laying out a settlement around it, I decided to use the desert stamps, and they are absolutely amazing. Like this is definitely going to be like, I would not hesitate to use these stamps, not just for desert, but for like any warm to warm temperate climate. I would use these. This is one of the most beautiful stamp sets they have available. There's a ton of buildings and stuff, and like I've just gotten started, and this is probably going to be the next 90-minute village sort of operation, because there's so much going on here and so much potential that I'm just not going to let it go. This experiment has become something else. Being able to use these little hex. Yeah, I'm just going to switch that so I don't accidentally move something and create a save situation for myself. These little hexes, like the hex bridge option, looks so cool, and it's going to have such a unique look by the time that I'm done. That yeah, like this is fantastic. I dig it. I like it. I like where it's going. So those of you who joined me today, thank you very much for watching. I see two of you are still with me. Thanks. It's been great having your company. Good little conversations we've had today. Awesome start as usual, as I forget to turn my microphone on. So yeah, I'm Graham, and you'll find me as Puce Gamer or Panzerlion. This is a twice a week event, so every Tuesday, every Thursday, I'm here doing some live mapping. Come join me. Thank you very much to my Coffee and Patreon supporters. You're helping all of this happen. If you're not supporting me yet, please consider doing so. And you know what? Have a great day.